Hey there, I'm Mr. Terry, a high school history teacher. Welcome back to another History Teacher Reacts video. Alright, in this video, we're hitting up a channel that I don't know if I have checked out yet, but nevertheless had been recommended to me. The channel is History Dose. And the video that we're going to be checking out is one that has an awesome title and the topic sounds fascinating. And that is what a samurai versus Mongol battle really looked like. So this is great. I love samurai history, I love Mongol history, and the invasion of Japan by the Mongol Empire is a fascinating story as well that I love to tell often. So hopefully I get to learn a lot and be able to share what some of what I learned with you all. All right, the original video link is down below. Make sure you're supporting them, giving them the view, the like, subscribe, so we can continue supporting these awesome content creators here on the internet. And if you want to see more commentary videos from myself, hit that sub button, enable those notifications, and there's a lot for you to check out. All right, and with that, let's get started. I like the animation. It's nice.
The islanders of Tsushima noticed them first. The dark figures cutting across the Pacific horizon.
It is a Mongol invasion of Japan.
1274.
Awesome.
Local governor So Sukakuni knows what's coming. He rallies 80 mounted samurai and leads them through the mountains toward the beach. The invasion fleet lurches forward. The samurai
Man, this artwork is sick.
outnumbered. 6 years ago, the Mongol ruler Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, sent a letter to Japan's Kamakura government. Innumerable people in far-off lands have learned to fear our power and have longed for our virtuous rule. Moreover, the sages consider the entire universe one family. Therefore, if we should not establish friendly relations with each other, how could it be in accordance with the doctrine of one family? Who would care to appeal to arms?
The Mongols are appealing for peace. Yes, the Mongols usually tried to create peaceful situations to conflicts and stuff, but you gotta understand, peace is determined by Mongols. It's like, they put it on you like, hey, you want peace? You do what we say. It's not on your terms, it's on our terms. It's the Mongol Empire. Okay, one of the most brutal regimes that has ever existed. And yeah, if you say no to their peace, they will annihilate you in a completely bloody, awful mess. I mean, 40 million people died as a result of Genghis Khan's conquests. Now, Kublai Khan, his grandson, is fixated on Asia. He wanted to complete something the Mongols hadn't been able to do, which was to conquer China, which he does, and then we'll have his sights on Japan as well, as part of that. And Tsushima Island is the island about halfway between Korea and Japan, and that was the first part that got invaded. If you're hearing the Tsushima thing, you might be thinking about the video game Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite video games ever, basically. Ghost of that story, a lot of fun. Check out my gaming channel, by the way, if you want to see me play games like that, because that's something I've streamed a lot of. Anyway, let's just remember a little bit. I mean, they try to be diplomatic about this, but no, this is a threat. And yes, the idea was one universal rule by the Mongol Empire.
It's seemingly an offer to peacefully submit to Kublai Khan and become subjects of the Mongols. Yet to reject his proposal is to flirt with apocalypse,
Exactly.
Holocaust.
Exactly.
The sublime cities of the Islamic world, opulent kingdoms of Russia, mighty domain of Imperial China, have been defiled, burned, gutted. Millions of
Biggest
men, women, and
empire,
children
land
butchered
empire
by
in
the
history.
Mongols. For unknown reasons, Kublai Khan has decided that Japan should now bend the knee to his empire.
Right.
Japan's government responds by ignoring his letter. So Sukakuni is first to suffer the consequences. At dawn, 1,000 Mongols charge the beach. Samurai are masters of the blade, but they are first and foremost horse archers.
Yep.
The Japanese fight in small, disparate bands of samurai warriors and their followers.
A lot of people think that, yeah, it's just like katanas and hand-to-hand combat. I mean, yeah, that's part of it, but yeah, they're horsemen. They are archers. It's actually very similar to how Mongols fight. The Mongols, their strength is mobility on horseback and archery. So you have a similarity here in fighting styles.
They prefer to pick off individual targets at range. This initially works against the Mongols, and Tsushima's defenders cut down many of the oncoming invaders. But Mongol tactics are foreign and overwhelming. Mongol domination has come on the backs of battle-worn nomads trained in horse archery since childhood.
Yep.
They launch synchronized charges in units, raining mass volleys of arrows down on clumps of enemies. When the exhausted enemy herds begin to thin, they charge the gaps and look to finish the battle with axes and swords. Here, the samurai's mastery of both grappling on horseback and unmounted sword warfare becomes crucial. In the melee, one samurai shatters his sword, and a shower of Mongol arrows kill him. The defenders of Tsushima are outnumbered.
Yep.
The bodies of Sukakuni and his followers are left on the beach.
Battle Komoda
By
Bay.
midday, the Mongol invasion of Tsushima is unstoppable.
If you've been playing the game.
Local buildings are burned, inhabitants slaughtered.
Yep.
The Mongols do the same to the island of Iki before advancing toward the mainland.
DLC island in the game.
The fleet comes into view and drops anchor, revealing the Mongol flair for psychological warfare. Their bows are adorned with female islanders dangling from a rope strung through their palms.
It's how they do it. They intimidate. They want to intimidate. They'll kill you in very visual ways that is meant to ward off any dissenters or anybody. They use psychologically damaging tactics for you, which has given them such a I don't know, I guess just the infamy of this incredible brutality.
An onslaught of Mongol horse archers charge the beach to the tune of signals from gongs and drums. They launch ear-splitting gunpowder bombs, sending Japanese horses staggering backward. Then they swing hooks and other weapons to rip the Japanese from their mounts. The Mongols generally navigate the battlefield wearing versatile light armor and carrying personal shields, while the more heavily armored samurai only use shields as stationary protective walls for their archers.
Again, this is, I can't get over how cool. I love this art style. Using the parallax of images where, you know, things in the background move slower than the stuff in the foreimage, kind of like how your eyes work. Is this what they do in their other videos as well? Because I really think this is cool. And that stuff looks like hand-painted and things. I'd have to learn more about it, how their style works out.
The samurai are relentless sharpshooters. Their counterattacks force some of the Mongols to retreat and regroup. One samurai, Takazaki Suenaga, is eager to make a name for himself. Japanese warriors are compensated by the shogunate government only when they can offer proof of their own exceptional deeds. Proof which often takes the form of eyewitness accounts or enemy heads. Suenaga has tracked the retreating Mongols to an encampment. One of his followers warns him not to charge, to wait for reinforcements, but Suenaga answers, "The way of the bow and arrow is to do what is worthy of reward. Charge!" The Mongols let fly a volley of arrows, wounding Suenaga and his 3 retainers. Suenaga presses on until an arrow drills into his horse and he's thrown to the ground, helpless. Suddenly, a charge of reinforcements storms forward, saving his life. The Mongol counterattack is brutal. The Japanese scatter and retreat inland, while the invaders lay waste to many of the homes and shrines along the coast.
Yep.
And then, they leave. There appears to have been a storm prior to their departure. Some accounts claimed it wrecked much of the Mongol fleet, while others state it was simply a fortuitous wind that gave the demoralized Mongol fleet the opportunity to sail back to Korea.
Sure, you want to keep an eye out of this, because nature is going to be on Japan's side here. Nature, you know. Remember, it's a culture that reveres nature and their kind of spiritual beliefs, and they truly believe they were blessed by the nature spirits, by how it seemed to damage, you know, the Mongol fleet, right, with these typhoons and storms and stuff. But yeah, anyway, I'm sure they'll talk about it more.
The Mongols may have realized they lacked the manpower to occupy southern Japan. Whatever the case, the Mongols are gone. For Japan, it's now time to grieve and rebuild.
They're coming back. About 10 years later.
It's the following year that Mongol emissaries arrive in Japan, reiterating Kublai Khan's request to submit to Mongol rule. Hojo Tokamune, the de facto ruler of Japan, has been beheaded. Later emissaries suffer the same fate. Tokamune knows the Mongols won't forget this. He constructs 12 miles of high stone walls on the coast of Japan. Another vital part of Japanese defense is prayer. The emperor, still an important religious figure in Japan, orders shrines to pray for peace and curse the Mongols.
Yeah, this is the Shogun era where the Shogun is the supreme military commander of Japan, who holds far more power than the emperor does. The emperor holds a lot of cultural and religious influence, but politically and again militarily, it's really in the hands of the shogun. He controls the daimyo, who control the samurai. So that's really how the command structure in Japan works, and will work for a long time, pretty much all the way till pretty much the Meiji Restoration in the 1800s.
Yet the Mongol Empire only grows in power. They've crushed the last of China's southern
Biggest
Song
connected
dynasty,
empire in the world.
absorbed its mighty
History.
navy, and constructed a massive new fleet. In the years since
Finally
the
took over
invasion,
China.
Kublai Khan has had time to orchestrate the downfall of Japan.
Coming back. Not giving up.
In 1281, a Mongol fleet arrives on Tsushima. Defending samurai are crushed, villagers run to the mountains, but the Mongols follow the cries of fleeing children and hunt them down. They again occupy Iki and attack the mainland.
Everybody's a target in Mongol warfare. They go after men, women, children, everything, and they always just assume and just say it's your fault. You're the ones who return peace. You're the barbaric ones.
But this time, the guarded coastal walls prevent the Mongols from establishing a position on
More
land.
fortified this time.
The Mongol fleet is forced to float ominously in the bay, planning island raids. The samurai sense vulnerability. They take sandbars and small boats out to the Mongol ships, clamber aboard, and fight. One, called Kawano Michiari, takes 5 followers and bounds over choppy seas in 2 small boats. As they near a Mongol vessel, an enemy archer kills his uncle. 2 more arrows carve into Michiari's shoulder and left arm as he climbs aboard. He ignores the wounds,
Oh my God.
unsheaths his sword, kills a large Mongol, and captures an officer.
Dude, what a baddie.
Takazaki Suenaga is also eager to join the fray. He squeezes onto an outgoing Japanese boat, storms a Mongol ship, and attacks the crew. The Mongols are bleeding supplies, but in midsummer the momentum seems to shift. Their massive southern fleet from the newly conquered southern China reaches Japan. The invading army is now 3 times as large as it was in the previous invasion. A tight battle at Takashima Island forces a Japanese retreat. Then the skies blacken.
Still
Sails
gotta take the
flutter,
mainland,
waves
though.
swell. A typhoon overtakes the bay, devouring hundreds of Mongol ships. Soldiers are thrown overboard, vessels dashed against the rocks.
Now this, by the way, this amphibious invasion, right, has been said to be the largest amphibious invasion, basically the largest navy ever assembled for an invasion, but the biggest that had ever been assembled, right? So this was a huge thing. There's never been anything like this. This is why the whole idea of nature in Japanese culture is going to be such an important thing, as it seems like nature spirits are basically working for the Japanese here on purpose, right? They're the justifiable ones. They're the good ones. And however you want to view it, we got to say that it saved the Japanese. I mean, yeah, we still would have to see what a full-scale land invasion would end up looking like, but man, I think there's some luck involved here for the Japanese.
The surviving Mongol ships cut anchor and abandon the invasion.
Yeah,
The next day, thousands of Mongols, dead and alive, wash up on Japanese beaches and float by on driftwood.
Where they can
One
get slaughtered.
straggler, Chang, has been stranded on an island for 3 days without food. He and other survivors plan to cut down trees, build ships, and sail home.
It's not very far.
But they're captured by
Not far to
Japanese who are
Korea.
surveying the area. Uninterested in forgiveness, the Japanese execute every Mongol, Korean, and northern Chinese they find.
Yeah, not
They
surprising.
view the southern Chinese as old allies of Japan, only recently forced under Mongol control. They spared the lives of the newly submitted, saying that they were people of the Tang dynasty, and made them slaves instead. I, Chang, was one of them.
Tang Dynasty fell way before this. This was Song Dynasty. So I'd have to see more about this. Song Dynasty, the Mongols took out the Song Dynasty, who had been around for a good 300 years. Or centuries ago for this.
The invasion is over. Takazaki Suenaga, now in his mid-30s, will have his exploits documented in scrolls and will present testimonies and Mongol heads to receive rewards from the government.
Ugh.
Samurai like Kawano
Your
Michiari will
money.
be honored as heroes. Kublai Khan and the Mongol Empire had famously laid claim to the entire universe, yet for the final time they've tried and failed.
I mean, Genghis Khan, from what I understand, that term, going back to Genghis, what meant like universal ruler. So they have this idea that everything is ruled under, everything's under one sky, one people, one rule.
To claim Japan.
They fail into Egypt, where the Mamluks are going to take out or defend themselves there in Egypt in the Middle East, and that far west of the Middle East. They're going to hold Persia or conquer Persia, and then into Southeast Asia, into Vietnam. They get held up there as well. All right, let's talk about this video. All right, back in 3, 2, 1. All right, if their videos are more like this as well, I'm all in. I love this artwork, this style. This is awesome. I can't believe I didn't know about this channel before. So thanks for recommending it to me. Thank you. Hey, by the way, thanks patrons for voting on videos. If you join our Patreon, you get to vote on videos that get to my attention. It's one way you can have some influence over the channel. So again, thank you to all that have done that. All right. Anyway, I love the story between. I love the Mongol Empire and I love Japanese Empire Japanese history, and learning about them. They're fascinating. With the brutality and things of the Mongols, there's something fascinating about it as well. Their psychology from that point of view. So, but anyway, the story of that invasion again is such an interesting thing where it comes down to nature destroying it. Never really got to see the full scale attempted takeover of the Mongols and what that would have looked like. That sparked some debate we've had in communities I've spoken in, where it's like, do you think even without those storms, the Mongols would have been successful in taking over Japan? Hard to say, but let me know what you think down below. I'll probably put that in the pinned comment. Check that out and be sure to respond to that. Anyways, thanks again to History Dose for making this video. This was great. Definitely got a sub in me. I hope you're all going to sub. The original video link is down below. And if you liked what I did here and you like hearing more commentary about videos, definitely hit the sub button on my channel. Hit those notifications. Hope to see a lot more of you. If you want to talk with people a little bit more directly too about history, join our Discord server. The link is down below. Like I was saying during the video, if you're into gaming, things like Ghost of Tsushima, definitely check out my gaming channel. I'm on Twitch as well as on another channel on YouTube. Those links are down below too. All right, with that, we'll see you next time. Bye.